Hi Team CCU, my name's Jigs. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Australia, I'm late 30s. Wasn't great at school, wasn't great at learning, wasn't very good at retaining information. Focused primarily on sport as a kid. Also coming out of school, was bankrupt at 19 because no one had ever taught me how to save or use money properly. Through my 20s and into my mid 30s, I lived week to week. Started my crypto exposure in about the middle of 2018, and Australia's got a really strong gambling culture, so naturally I like to bet on sport and that. Basically started following YouTubers and joining paid forums and trying to get tips and how to invest, when to buy, when to sell crypto, blindly basically, like a sheep. And this went on for about 3 months. I started off with a 10K capital, and this withered away to 4 grand. And then I thought to myself, surely there's got to be someone out there that knows how to do this properly. There's got to be a way, a system. So I took that 4K and I went to my father-in-law, who's made a lot of money in his life. He's a multi-millionaire, and said, how do I make this money work for me? And he said the best thing he said, you got to invest in yourself. At this time, I'd just come across the Crypto Crew channel, and as you can all relate, you're taking this with a grain of salt, and you're like, is this real? This sounds too good to be true. But at that stage, I was trading primarily with emotions, and I was losing bad. So I followed Steve month after month, and he was talking sense. His predictions were being played out and based off the chart signals. This went on for about 3 to 5 months, and then I decided, you know what, I've got nothing to lose in investing in myself and doing the classes. So I first initially got the intermediate class, was just amazed at how much I was retaining the information and how much I was so passionate about learning more about what he was teaching. And it wasn't just crypto, it was just life and decisions you can make in your life that can better you. So straight after intermediate, I went to advanced, and I was powering through that, and I was just like this, I was just thirsty for more. So I went back to Steve and I said, look, I think I've made a mistake. I'm buying course to course. Can I buy the package? So I bought the gold, and in the pro class, I learned so much, like ridiculous. It was so easy to understand, and it was changing my way of thinking. I'm naturally an emotional person, but this was teaching me to keep my emotions in check, and my wife could see this. It was crazy. And I started to now have a structured plan and, of how I was going about making my investments. And also there was a flawless risk management system. So now this was literally changing my life. It was changing my family's life. So much so that before the age of 40, I've now become self-managed super fund of my wife and I's super, our 401k as you would call it in the States. I'm learning to invest not only in crypto, but in shares, property, everything like that. And I'm taking control of my life, which I'd never been taught before. And it's not my father's fault or his father's fault, because they probably were never taught it in school either. But Steve has taught me this, and I cannot wait to teach my kids what I've been taught. So much so that, I wish I'd have learned this when I was a teenager. Crazy, crazy stuff that has changed everything for me. It's opened up my world. I have friends of mine who went to university and are CEOs and general managers of businesses. And I started working at 18 and was in a high-paying job because it was a danger job. And I was making more money than they were because they were in university. But after that, they all started catching up to me when they left university and started working in the workforce. And I was getting left behind. I'm 40 and all these guys are making more money than me. But I took control. I learned something that I didn't know was possible to learn. And now that they are scared of what I know because they don't believe that I could be where I am, because of where they've always known me, where I've always been, behind them. And now I'm catching up and only can imagine that I'll surpass them. And so all I can say is, don't be scared, take the leap, do the courses. It is amazing. It'll change your life. It changed mine. Thank you, Steve. Thanks, Team CCU, and keep the positivity growing amongst us. It's amazing.